Welcome, everybody. So great to have you here. It is wonderful to have you again here with us on another Presence panel. My name is Chris Lancel. I'm the Director of Content here at Luxury Presence, and I am joined today by I don't want to blow too much smoke at you too soon here, but I would say the unmistakable Sheldon Wilder. Sheldon, welcome to the show today. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me, Chris.
Absolutely. Now, Shelton and I are here to talk about a lot of stuff. You saw the webinar invite, everybody. You know what's happening here. Shelton's got a pretty interesting story with a fair amount of experience doing lots of stuff, and we're here to pick her brain about about a lot of it. Not just about her experiences with Richard Branson, which she has some of, and I'm interested to ask her some questions, but I also want to dig into Shelton's experience, not just operating, but innovating, thinking like a founder, breaking through the noise with a brand that, yeah, is genuinely unmistakable. We're going to have some time for questions at the end of this webinar. So if you have them, please use the Q&A function. We'll make sure that we get a chance to address as many of them as we can. And also, I want to encourage folks, if you have specific questions about the things that we're talking about here, get them in that Q&A, and if there's follow-ups, feel free to pepper that Q&A with as much as you can. I'll get to as much as I possibly can. Um, and we'll make sure that we get through all of all of your questions as best we can. Now, Shelton, before we get started, I feel like a lot of us know your name and your face, but until we dive into the conversation, will you give us just a quick 30-second background, who you are, where you operate? Tell us a little bit about the business that you're running.
Okay, well, wow, what a great introduction. And I appreciate it so much. And so, yes, I am sitting here in my office at Christie International Real Estate, and we are in Brentwood, Los Angeles, in California. And sunny, beautiful. October is gorgeous here. And I have a team of an all-female team, and there are 11 of us. And I do have a guy that does all of our videos, so nobody can get mad at me. But all of our agents, we have 6 agents, 2 licensed assistants, and a whole team, social media, everybody. So that's us, and this is where we're based.
Great. Let's bust right into it.
Okay.
We teased this webinar as what Richard Branson taught me about building a real estate business, but I want to throw out a little spoiler here. You were already running a real estate business at this point in your life. Let's talk a little bit about the time that you spent with Richard Branson. Can you give us just a quick summary? How did you wind up on Necker Island? Like, were you just hitchhiking and the boat drove by and you happened to pull up? Tell us the
Yeah,
backstory
I
here.
just swam on in. I was like, you know what? I want to be there. Let's just let's just show up. And they were like, come in. No,
Yeah.
so I do a lot of things, like you've said, and it has been said before many hundreds of times. People are like, your Instagram is exhausting. I'm exhausting just watching you. But I have an insane amount of energy. This is just who I am. I was born this way. And so the way that it happened that I came to Necker Island is that I have a podcast called Wilder Possibilities, and it's not a real estate podcast. It is about entrepreneurs, and I have all these different people on. And the only question I ask is, when did you get the click? Like your light bulb moment. And so I had her name is Lisa Odenweller. She owns the brand Chroma. She came on, and immediately we have been friends. She also comes to my Wilder Women events that I host. All of these things that I'll be telling you guys about how I have kind of branched out and grown my business, and not even kind of knowingly, but what has led to a lot of different things. And so Lisa invited me to Necker Island. She said it's a Striver event. It's at Richard Branson's Island. And I said yes faster than she finished her sentence. So, it wasn't like a maybe. It was just like a hell yes. So that's how it happened. And then I went. I didn't know what to expect. It was a week there. It was last August. 2024. And then after that trip, then Noah, which is Richard's nephew, we became very close. He asked me to come back and be a co-host. And then I just went again this October.
Mm.
So it's been two life-changing experiences for me. And I learned so much and grew so much from going there. So
So let's talk about some of the things that you learned. Can you give us maybe, if you had to boil it down to one piece of like advice or strategy that you got from your time there, is there one thing that kind of stands out above the rest for that time?
oh yes, it's just say yes. Just say yes. That is my motto in life. That is Richard's motto in life. He literally sat with us. It's basically like entrepreneur camp. You have to do all these crazy, difficult things where you're bonding with each other, and it's just only 40 people on this island. It is magical. And he's sitting with us so I guess it's like 2 weeks ago from now, and explaining everything that he's done, basically all the ways that he almost died to like
Mm,
get his company's name out there because there was no internet, there was no social media. He was the first he's an icon because he was the first influencer. Like there was no other way. He said he'd have to do anything that he could do to get on the front page of newspapers. Guys,
mm,
that's what people were doing.
mm.
So, front page of newspapers. So he's like, well, I'll just jump off a building. I'll have the hot air balloon. I'll fly a little plane where people are dying. I mean, and he's lived. He has an angel watching over him. But in his company, he said in his talk to us that was just directly to us, it was so incredible, is that he has a whole team at Virgin that their whole job is to tell him no because everything he says like yes, yes, okay, yes, let's do that.
Mm.
And so that's how he's grown 8 multi-billion-dollar businesses is by
So
just saying yes. Yeah.
So how do you take that advice and apply it to your real estate business? I mean, are there things that you are saying yes to that maybe 5 years ago, 10 years ago, you would not have said yes to?
Absolutely. Like leases? Yes, we do not say yes to leases. We say no to leases. That has been a very, after everything that happened in Los Angeles
Uh-huh.
with the price gouging and everything, that sort of business that was very valuable in the beginning, that does not work for our company at the moment. And so
Mm-hmm.
I have a great referral for that. And then we hand that right off. And so
Mm.
that's been something that's shifted in my business when I
Mm-hmm.
just said yes in the beginning when I started. I
Yeah.
just said yes always. But what I was referring to more with what Richard was saying is more of like just say yes to these putting yourself out there
Got
more
it.
as
Yep.
a brand. I
Mm.
mean, this is the difference, Chris, that what we are talking about is that I did have those companies before I started real estate. So I had two failed businesses. I had, my clothing line. I was on Shark Tank. I did all of that. Then I had a concierge business. And then, that kind of failed after 2009 when everything at least I wasn't like the lone soldier that went bankrupt. There was a
Mm-hmm.
lot of other people in
Mm-hmm.
2009 that went bankrupt, but it's still I did that to myself, and I was doing like a Ponzi scheme on myself and then
Mm.
got in $500,000 in debt at age 30, which is impressive. um,
Yeah.
how can you even do that? But I did, and so I always was just saying yes and going forward, and I did have some failures, but then that helped me in
Mm.
growing a real estate brand because
Mm.
I knew that it was a brand and I was going to be the CEO of this company. This is
Mm.
not just a one-off real estate agent. Like I'm going to sell something and then I'm going to go and like take a vacation. It was just going to feed more money back into my business and my brand. And so that's what I got a lot from being around Richard. Also, the other thing that I mainly got from being around him, I mean, read the room, guys. Like, I am not the type that's going to be like walking up to Mr. Branson while we're doing these crazy hikes and different things and being like, hey, I want to talk about my real estate company. Like, let me, tell me what I should learn. No, no. Uh, like all I wanted to do, I got to play tennis with him every day. He was my tennis partner. Okay, we got to win. We got to beat other people playing tennis. Like that, that is life changing. That is so much fun. So, like, I'm not asking those questions. I'm seeing how he operates. And he is the
Mm.
most generous, human being I've ever met. Generous in his spirit, not like handing out dollars. I'm saying generous in the way somebody's sitting by themselves. He's like, oh, come get involved. I'll sit out this game. You should play. Or,
Mm,
oh, how are you feeling in the situation? Like just so kind and always thinking of others. And that is such a beautiful thing. And the way that he is in that way. And he has such a great sense of humor too. I mean,
mm,
not taking himself seriously.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's so interesting to listen to your description and the importance of what the phrase, or what the mindset of saying yes is all about. Because
Yeah.
I can hear in your voice and in your stories describing how, this default setting of just say yes kind of got you in trouble. Not in trouble, but
It
certainly
did.
led you down a path of challenge.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it is also that approach and philosophy has also been, I mean, it's kind of been nitroglycerin for the engine of your real estate business as well. And I think this, for me, the next question that comes up is, this to me doesn't feel like you are thinking like a salesperson. It seems like you are thinking like a founder of a business here. And I feel like a lot of real estate professionals consider themselves salespeople and not business founders.
Mhm.
How do you think our audience here and just real estate professionals in general, how can we adopt more of a founder's mindset? What needs to change in our kind of our thinking process so that we're thinking more like a CEO and less like just a day-to-day kind of time clock employee?
Well, that's a great question. I mean, after running businesses that didn't work, also, I will say too that one of the biggest downfalls that I had as well, and yesterday I just celebrated 16 years sober and I posted it and it's out there. And it's like I was not operating back then with a clear mindset or clear self. So having that really, obviously helped me and I had to learn a lot. And I think too that something that really shifted when I did go bankrupt, get sober, is that I like the humility part came in. That it was major. I mean, it wasn't like that I lost a little bit. I lost everything. I mean, it was
Mm.
done. It was like it wasn't humble pie. It was like a humble crepe. I was like annihilated. There was nothing. There was nothing left. And I
Mhm,
think that in this business, I'll get to your question, but I think that in this business, humility is such a huge part of it. I know we
mhm,
have to put ourselves out there, but doing it with some humor and also knowing that like I don't think that I'm like a celebrity or that anything like that. I'm not trying to be a celebrity agent. I think we have to treat everybody with so much love and kindness and respect. And I think that that really matters in this business so much. And then so treating the business like a founder, I just did that from the beginning. And I just saw that as like, okay, I had no money to start my real estate business. I mean, my
mhm,
husband jokes, it was like my bills were paid for, meaning my home and everything, like with being married. But there was he wasn't like, here's some money to go start a real estate business. I mean, no, but I knew how I had to portray myself outwardly to the world. And so
mhm,
I knew you had to have like professional photo shoots. And it's like
mhm,
I didn't have to go make hundreds or thousands of slips to go sell something. What you sell it is already made. It's
mhm,
homes. So you have to
mhm,
sell yourself or your brand or get it out there, but it's not like selling. It's not like, and I never
mhm,
say that I am selling homes. Like that feels so great. I'm like the hostess. I'm opening it up. I am bringing a home to market in its best light so it
mhm,
looks beautiful and incredible. Or I am hosting my amazing clients so to see what works for them. Like I'm not
mhm,
trying to overpower my clients ever.
mhm,
I work for them. And
mhm,
so having that humility to know that is very important. And I knew I wanted to start my own team the first minute that I ever started in real estate. So I didn't join a team. I wanted to do it on my own by myself. So it might have taken a little longer than I've learning from somebody else, but I wanted to kind of do it my own way and my own methods and
mhm,
bringing a lot from what I learned in my entrepreneurship. There's no MBA. Like it was such a better learning than to have businesses fail than
mhm,
to try to go get some extra degree or something
Mm,
like that. So that I call it failing forward. And I mean, we've all heard that term, but it was very helpful. And also owning a concierge business. I mean,
mm-hmm,
I brought all of that into my real estate practice. I mean, I have an entire assistant dedicated to, her job is gift assistant.
mm,
That's her whole job, and philanthropy liaison. So it's
mm,
like giving back. What can I do to be of service at all times? Obviously, from what I've learned being sober, being of service, being of service. I mean, that's the mentality, and also what can I do that's so extra special for my clients to make them feel better all the
mm.
time, putting them first.
It's so interesting to listen to you describe the mentality necessary to operate in this founder space versus just a seller space. I'm looking on your Instagram right now, and I'm just
Mhm.
scrolling through. By the way, I'm going to link this right here just so in case anybody wants to follow along because
Yay!
this is a lot of fun here. Follow Shelton. She's genuinely a laugh a minute here. Um, but it's interesting for somebody who is in the top 50 agents in all of the state of California, in the top, I think, 130 in the entire United States. You would think that somebody who is selling this many homes and moving this much volume would have more inventory related social media. Your social media is about your brand. It is about your team. It is about the experience that you give your clients. Like there are no at least not above the fold here. There are no carousels with check out this three bath a four bedroom home that just hit the market. Like it's so interesting to see what you have prioritized here. And it's so consistent with what you're talking about in terms of creating this vision and experience for your clients rather than just acting as like this secondary access to the MLS because that doesn't seem like a business that will ultimately scale into something that's operating at the level that you are. I mean, is that a fair assessment?
Yes, and I see, what has worked for me is humor, is kind of I want people also. So if you just met me from the internet and you go and meet me at a house, I want it to be like I look the same. Like this is the same person. It's not like, oh, I mean, there have been cases where I've met somebody and I was like, oh my God, is that your daughter? It's just an interesting thing. I
Hmm.
want people to hear my voice, know what I look like, know what I sound like. And I'm not here to be like a beauty queen or super, it's none of that. It's just more of like, they're buying eh, from you. So you're a
Hmm.
person, you're not a house.
Hmm.
Sometimes people's pages, I don't even know who they are.
Mm,
Like so I think for me, it was important to be out there
hmm.
and to be heard. And that was this crazy thing. And so it's been 8.75 years that I started Wilder Wednesdays.
Mm,
Okay, that was the video little series that I started that was the most, I mean, just you can call me the queen of cringe. Okay, I was the number one cringe maker before people were doing it. I set up a Ring camera and I was like, "Hi, welcome to Wilder Wednesday." And I was like,
mm,
I'm going to do these videos every single week on a Wednesday talking about the market or about blah, 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 blah. And my family, it is like survival of the fittest in my family. There are six of us. Okay. So all five of them are all just group text talking about me like, is she okay? What is she doing? What an idiot. Like, has she even sold anything? This is so embarrassing. And
mm,
so, but I didn't care. I kept putting myself out there and
hmm.
I said I was going to do it. And that is the consistency part that
Mm,
I am definitely the queen of consistency. And I
mm.
know the value of it and how important that is.
So
So,
let's actually pivot to that. I like that you
yeah,
brought up consistency here.
yeah.
One of the things that we often hear from folks at Luxury Presence is how valuable momentum is when you are trying to build a brand, build a business. Like the momentum in your marketing is so valuable, and it clearly shows in the longevity of Wilder Wednesdays. What has been the result of that consistency and momentum? Do you find that you can attribute business directly to the sorts of content that you're doing, like on social, or is it harder to contribute or to attribute those leads directly to that sort of thing? What's been your experience there?
So that is a great question I see in the questions here. So
Mm-hmm.
getting like direct leads. So it's not been an exact direct lead. I call it more social proof. So in this day and age, for me, if I hear someone's name, I go to Instagram and check their name before I even go look on Google or their website or anything like that. I definitely want to see like who the person is and that way and so social proof has been more of the case for me with the videos and with all of the posting, but I knew from the very beginning that Instagram was free and I was like I got to get out there. I got to and that was how also, I mean, before I really sold anything, I would do like a photo shoot, make sure I had great photos of myself or my team when it would grow, and then I would be doing the videos constantly and then highlighting other businesses or neighborhood activities or different ways of people kind of seeing what I'm doing. And they're so grateful for the exposure. I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm so glad like it's always a win-win. I'm always trying to make sure it's a win-win. But
Mm-hmm.
it's more of the social proof and then people will see like on the Instagram like maybe that a friend of mine will send a referral and they'll say, "Oh my gosh, look at her Instagram. She's so funny." Or
Mm-hmm.
she's doing a lot of or she's doing great. And then they'll check it out and be like, "Oh, is that my vibe or not my vibe?" And so
Mm-hmm.
then they'll contact me, but then they'll maybe following me for a long time and it's not only just house 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 house. Cuz not
Mm-hmm.
always everybody's not always looking to buy or sell a house right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's good if they're following along, but they're like, "Oh, that new banana bed place down the street opened up. That looks so cute." Or, and I try to do posts where I could collab with other people so they could find me. And so I feel like that's more of the leads. I did end up just closing my second transaction yesterday with someone that did reach out directly from
Mm-hmm.
Instagram. She said she reached out to six people on Instagram. No one got back to her. I
Wow.
I am on my Instagram. Like I have a full-time social media manager, Mira. She's amazing. And I've always had one and they've always been incredible. But I do all of my responses. She does
Mm-hmm.
not write back to anybody. It is me. And I spend so much time and energy doing that, but it matters. And so
Mm-hmm.
I wrote back to her, and within 5 years, we've sold, two homes for her, and
Mm-hmm.
she's my client for life. And so
Wow.
it's, I do feel that it can be, but I don't have, also in Los Angeles, the homes are different. Like there is another gal that I love, and she's in Orange County. She can get tons of leads because all of the homes are the same. They're all of those same sort of homes. So if you can show one, it's showing the next.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a different model than mine. Mine's more about building trust, likability, and showing that I am still showing up.
Mm. Well, you
Yeah.
heard it, folks. DM Shelton, you're gonna get her. She's gonna write you back, I
I
guess.
will. I will.
Yeah,
And I'm the biggest cheerleader. Like I am
I love
such a
that.
fan. I love like boosting people up. Like I am like your hype girl all the
Hmm.
time. Yeah.
So let me ask you a little bit about mindset here. We are working in an industry that has just by nature, it's got ups and downs, right? Like
Yeah.
a lot of real estate professionals, admittedly, a lot of real estate professionals who have even been in the business for 10 years may not know what a true downswing feels like in this business because we have had an up and to the right market. But even within those the generally trending upward things or direction, things don't always go exactly as planned here. I want to hear a little bit about resiliency because you shared a little bit about your personal journey earlier, which is
Yes.
super inspiring. Can you talk to us a little bit about how you how you manage through challenges when you don't get the listing that you want or when the offer doesn't go through the way that you expected it. Tell us about those challenges, how you deal with those as a professional, and yeah, anything you want to share in there.
Okay, I have a few really good things to share about this. So, first of all, as you can see on my little mug here, I have an entire brand called Positron. And it's the dorkiest word, and it's so silly, but this is it. And I have Positron, I have sweatshirts, I have all of it. And it's just about my mindset. And it's literally something that the team, my family, all of us just say over and over. It's like, oh, Positron. And it's like getting back in to that mindset of like, no, 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 everything's happening for me, not to me. Like,
Mhm.
I can't go there with anything of the negatron is what I say. And like, if we have clients that are negatron, that might not be our fit. Okay, that might, it's got to be a fit for us as well as a fit for them. And so if there are people that are, love to complain, they think everything's bad, everything's going wrong all the time, like that's not a fit for me because I also say, like, let's just say that there's a multiple offer, we don't get it, which is rare, but it's like this or something better. I mean, always,
Mhm.
these are the things that I say to my clients, I say to my team, this or something better. Like, whoo, we dodged a bullet on that one. It's like,
Mhm.
and I do a lot of very, very hard conversations with sellers before we take on a listing because I really value our time and it's mostly our energy. I think either Taylor Swift just on her podcast was talking about her energy is the most expensive thing that should be like, because people can very much take from
Mhm.
it. And then it can ruin all of your deals.
Mhm.
One bad experience. So I really think that like it if it wasn't for us, then it's not going to happen. It's not meant to be. So I
Mhm.
really do believe that, and that's also, I mean, I see like this therapist cranial sacral lady every week that would do breath work. I mean, I do a lot of things in self-care. I play a lot of
Mhm.
tennis, do a lot of other things that really helps me to stick with that because I do believe. And also another thing is that I don't talk about like I am very much I don't watch news at all. That is negatron. I mean that is clickbait. That there's nothing very good. There's something horrible that happened that we need to hear about. We will hear about it. That's fine. But I'm not going to be watching every trend and every single thing in the market. That is not helpful for me. And a lot of times people want to talk like, "Oh, the market." That I'm like, "Actually, we've had our best year ever. We've already sold 54 homes and we're going to have our best year over 150 million because I put like horse blinders on, like
Mhm.
laser focus in, like what can I do? Is that going to be helpful for me to call my client and be like, oh, the market blah blah? No, we can send the comps, send relevant data, but I'm not going to be spewing headlines and craziness that's might not even be in my market.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yeah, yeah. It is amazing how um how accurately the axiom of, what goes in comes out in terms of like what you're taking in manifests out through the things that you say. And so you protecting that certainly within your kind of your personal journey and then in the scope of your real estate business is really thoughtful and interesting. I did want to just call out if you didn't see it in the chat, I just discovered that all of this Positron stuff is in the swag area of Shelton's website, and I linked it in the chat.
you're so
I also noticed that you have what looks like one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Are there nine or ten? Is this your team that is on the
yes.
swag?
Yes, we're all wearing it. Of
So
course. We're
so
wearing
you
the
lead.
Positron gear. Of course. You gotta rock it.
I'm
Yes.
definitely this is where I'm shopping for all my Christmas needs this year,
Oh
folks.
my
Um, Sheldon,
Christmas.
can you talk a little bit about building a team? We had a question in the chat, and again, I would encourage you to use the Q&A so I don't miss something in the chat. But I did see a question in the chat about starting your team. You said from the start that you wanted to start a team, but
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about the mechanics. Like, how did you go from one to two? What was that thought process? Did you go through a preparation phase? Did you just kind of jump in, not really knowing what you were doing? Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Just jumped right in. Just totally did not know what the hell I was doing. No. Of course. I mean, I like you just I mean, you just kind of got to go for it. I was like, well, I'm going to have a team. And
Uh-huh.
they're like, okay. And so then I just asked one of my office managers where I was, and she was like, "Oh, well, this is kind of the structure." I was like, "Great, that seems good." I'm like, "Well, I want to make it like really fair, and so I want to bump it up here, and let's do it like this." And she was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Great," and we just wrote it out, and then started with one team member, and then it grew to more, and then
Mm-hmm.
it's not been a linear it's been ups and downs in different ways, but I mean, our team right now is so strong. There's nothing better. I mean, and it's so much fun, and I really believe, I mean, tomorrow we have a team building event. Like, we're always doing stuff, like we're going together, where I really believe in that. We have these like fun dinners, and like we have our team meeting each week, and so I make it, it's, you know what it is now? It's a non-toxic sorority. Is what we
Mm.
built. And talk about Positron. Like, the group chat is insane. We're like, go girl, happy birthday, great job on your closing of your listing. I mean, so encouraging.
Mm-hmm.
So we're so hype each other up, and that's
Mm-hmm.
the only thing that's allowed. No gossip allowed either.
Mm.
Like, nothing like that. So my road, I guess I'll go back to, it's like I had this coach lady. She was like a sponsor and then became
Mm-hmm.
like a coach. And she was insane on me. Her name's Amanda, and I still work with her, and I love her to death. But she did not allow any complaining when I started this. And excuse me, I know this is a family friendly webinar, but I have to just let you know what she would say to me at all times. So
We're ready.
I would call and complain about my husband. He should be giving me leads. Da, 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 da. He should, da, da, Clark, Clark, Clark. Then she just hang up on me. And I was like, hello. Then I call her again. And literally, this would be her. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. And so that was her. And that was what happened. It was like, it just like scared it out of me. Any sort of bad negativity of things to do. It's like, it doesn't work. It doesn't work in real estate. It doesn't work to talk to your clients that way. It doesn't work to talk to your team that way. For me, for me, there are other coaches that are like, I don't know. I like my
Mm-hmm.
brand, my team, my clients. Like, I'm nice, they're nice.
Mm.
That's
It's
our brand.
it's so interesting to hear you encapsulate your brand and honestly your operation of the team in this way because though I don't think you would put that exact phrase on your website, the one that you just shouted across the webinar here, which
Is
is
everyone
amazing,
awake?
by the way. You
So
have just
sorry.
set a presence panel first. Nobody has shouted that at the webinar yet, and so you're going into the history books with that one. Um,
I
what's
had to say it. I
I'm
had,
glad you did. But
yeah.
it's interesting though because what that says to me, I translate that into one of the important, I mean, it's not just a pillar, it's a requirement that there is this level of authentic commitment to not just be yourself, but um to bring everything that the team needs and leave everything else at the door
Yeah.
when you come to work. And it is real estate is such an interesting space because most of us that come into this business, we didn't go to school for real estate. Most of us don't have MBAs. We didn't get into this. We weren't, 14-year-olds thinking about, oh, one day I'm going to manage my team. I'm going to have this is my split structure and this is how I'm going to handle, errors and emissions insurance. Nobody's thinking about that. We're figuring it out as we go here. And so that level kind of authenticity and the expectations of authenticity amongst your team it has to be one of the reasons why your team is so strong. Now, I would love to hear if you have any systems that you use to help manage your team. I mean, and just you generally, like we've got a question in the Q&A. How do you manage it all between work, clients, personal development, family? Do you use any kind of software, any strategies? Like, is there any kind of system that Shelton Wilder uses to keep it all straight, or are all the plates just kind of spinning at once for you?
No, no. We are organized. We are very, very organized. I have the best assistant ever, Jessica. She's right here. I have, and we have multiple assistants. We have a very structure, and a lot of it is held in Monday.com.
Uh-huh.
Love Monday. That's been amazing. And I have something coming out soon that I'm gonna like show the way I've structured my Monday. So
Mhm.
stay tuned for that. And then that's been very, very important. I've also we've used Kajabi. We might be switching to a different system, but like that's how we do like our newsletters and everything that goes out.
Hmm.
And we there's a lot of systems in that, and we have templates for everything. The way that we get started, like we have the best inspection election email. And it's like all the things that I've learned over time, it's like we have it in there now. And we're like, read that, check it, da da da. And we go through everything. And then like our buyer consults and like the different surveys we do and that we give out, like everything is very organized. There's no way that we could sold this many homes in Los Angeles. I know that there's a lot of people on here that are in the Midwest, so you guys have to sell 400 homes. And I'm like, bowing down to you. I think it's incredible how you can
Mm.
manage that. But like us with this many homes here, that is a lot of volume. And so
Hmm.
we couldn't get it done if we didn't have these different systems in place that kind of
Mm.
give you the highlights. We also have been using Follow Up Boss, and we are implementing that now even more to
Mm.
kind of more streamlined for when we meet people at open houses and things like that. But someone else asked me about leads, and I have to tell you that I guess like 97% of my business and all of our business has been from referrals. And
Mm.
that's pretty wild thing to do because I'm 9 years in, and
Mm.
I guess we sold around 800 million, and I mean, that's like a referral system. So, I mean, it's not like a pray every day, hope you wake up and get to get
Hmm.
some, but door knocking has not worked for me. Cold calling has not worked for me. A lot of things that I've done to get leads is just being of service in other ways. Like in the very beginning, I was on the party book committee at my preschool. And so that was
Hmm.
like me showing up, giving back, and people were like, "Oh, and what do you do?" Or I'd like put my logo on a banner that I would pay for and give to give back to the school. Or, I'm on a board, I'm on a charity board, PSR. It's like different things like that. Like I'm always, and I'm not like, oh, I'm going to go do this. So then I'm going to get business. It's not like that. It's more of a,
Mm.
oh, this is good. This is like, I love to do it. I want to do parties and for my adorable sons that are, at school. So
Hmm.
it's always ends up being like a win-win. And another
Mm.
thing that I've done a lot that I want to make sure I don't forget is two really important, like we, I started doing these insane client appreciation parties, and I really went over the top. I mean, I hosted a client appreciation party with 400 people, and we had snow in Los Angeles and sledding and all. It was like a whole festival. It was like the Shelton Palooza or something. It was unbelievable. We did that for 3 years. This year we have like an ice skating event coming up. We're going to have an In-N-Out truck, which is going to be like so exciting. So I like to do things where I incorporate and get my clients involved and like say thank you to them. Like,
Mm.
wow, thank you so much. There's
Mm.
so many agents that you can choose from, and you chose us. And then
Mm.
the other thing that I do a lot of, so these are like very tactical things that people can do in their markets that I wanted to make sure that we brought that, is that I know it seems like a crazy thing, but we do the home anniversary gift. So even if you bought a house from me 7 years ago, you're still getting a gift that month from when you bought a house from me. And it's just a thank you. And it's not like some branded thing. It's like a very nice, beautiful gift. Like one year we gave Home Court, which is Courtney Cox's hand soap line. So we gave that like, but it was like a nice set. It was like an $80 set. So it's not something janky that you're getting something and then you're like pumping your soap and you're like, that was that nice real estate agent that we bought our house from,
Mm.
or this like beautiful olive oil, things that are like very special. And so even we did pies one year. I mean, poor Katie that works for me, she had to like hand deliver these like $80 pie. So we
Mm.
won't do food anymore. But I'm just saying, like just thinking of them and giving back. So they're like, oh my God, that's so nice to think
Mm.
of. But it's also a way to touch your clients and also in like a kind, polite way. Gift giving. I love giving gifts. So,
It's so interesting again, like how consistent this is. And I'm not, and certainly not to put words in your mouth here, but I feel like you are forging a really tight connection between what you were saying earlier about how the scale and trajectory of your business has been based on your ability to provide these singularly identifiably Shelton-esque experiences that there's no mistaking that when your assistant, like a cartoon character comes shuffling down the street with all these pies here, this is a Shelton Wilder production that is happening here. And I mean, all joking aside, it has built this significant referral machine that has provided you an engine to continue to drive the success of your business. Now, most of us uh, would look at that with I'm going to be honest with you, a little bit of envy, wishing that we had that level of kind of referral, creation that you're describing here. I'm sure it wasn't always like that. So if you can kind of push back in your mind a little bit to before the referral machine was cranking as hard, are there one or two pieces of advice that you can give attendees and listeners afterward on here about how they can continue to directly generate their own business, and what some specific strategies are that they can use to create kind of new opportunities for themselves?
Well, yes. So, I mean, in the beginning, when it wasn't this, referral thing, I obviously did open houses all the time. I was, you know, available. I was out there. I was meeting people, but it was mostly through my sphere. That was what
Mm,
I really, really went for, and people knowing that I what I was doing. And I had done the fashion before and all these different things, so I wanted to only focus on real estate on my Instagram, letting people know, and Facebook and all those different things. So I definitely believe that I would talk to the people that I know and tell them what I never said, are you looking to buy or sell real estate? Like, I know that so many coaches out there say to do that. That is just not my vibe. I mean, it's
mm,
just like people know what I was going to do, and I could it would be more about talking about transactions that I'm doing, like, oh, I gotta run. And oh, another thing is like I was in fashion, so I'm obsessed with dressing up. I mean, that is just who I am. I'm from the South. I'm from North Carolina. So
hmm
I am that was like my brand. So when I would go to preschool, I'd always be dressed to the nines. Oh, I gotta run to a showing. You know what I
mm,
mean? So people, it wasn't being like, did you know that I do real estate? It's like, no, I was like, oh, I gotta run. I've got to. So I think that that part is like dressing for the part. And
hmm
for me, I don't wear sexy clothes. I don't wear, I'm very much like my brand. It's a lot
hmm
of dresses, like pretty outfits. Like that's who I was, I've always been, and who I
hmm
stay being. And that is part of my brand as well. So I
mm,
think it's like, and also I am so into the 10-year plan. I am not into the short term goal here.
hmm
And there's a lot of coaches and people out there. It's like, I'm not even going to talk to them if they're not going to buy or sell in the next 3 months. That is the worst, most horrible advice. Please get that out of your brain. Like that, I get so upset when I hear that because that, like, I wouldn't even be in the business if I thought like that. That is
mm,
insane. So to me, it's just like thinking long term. And I'll tell you one quick story that I
hmm
think is very valuable. So in my world, in my life, I have, some different very close friends. I had a close friend and she called me one day and she was like, oh, you're going to see this. I am so sorry. I listed my house, someone else, and then, and so it ended up being, it was like $18 million in real estate. And I was
hmm
like, babe, do not worry. That that is not a problem. Like I'm sure you had a reason you need. She was like, I know, and I had to use them because they'd helped us with something before, and I wanted to. I was like, do not worry. I just want the best for you. And I was like, also, I love the house that you bought. I'm obsessed. I am so excited. I hope you invite me over and
mm,
have our book club together and all stuff. Totally, genuinely happy for her. Okay.
mm,
No craziness. Don't go off the rails and just like burn a bridge. Then within 6 months, she was like, oh, actually, my mother-in-law is looking. I'll set
mm,
you guys up. Great. And then I got to meet their business manager for the family,
hmm
who has become one of my closest friends. And we've closed over $80 million in real estate.
Wow.
And if
Wow.
I had been a psychopath and been like, I can't believe you didn't use me, and me, like some jerk and psychotic person, then that relationship would have been dead. I mean,
Yeah.
so it's just, oh my, like, please, guys, just long term. Let's just long term gain.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah.
Shelton, that is such an it's such a great story to pause on here, guys. I want to touch on what Shelton just said, and I want to bring one other voice into the conversation here. Shelton has shared some really valuable insights around creating um, your brand as more than just, like we said, more than just secondary access to the MLS. It's an experience. It is a differentiated experience. And, you know, there are so many ways that you can tell that story, but if you're not online telling that story nowadays, you might as well be invisible. Nobody's looking in the yellow pages of the phone book anymore. In fact, they don't even give the phone book out unless you have to, unless you request it. And most places won't even do it. You have to be online in order to effectively tell that story. And that's one of the things that Luxury Presence is working hard to be, is to be a platform where you can tell your story and build your brand digitally. I want to bring a friend of mine, Brianna from Luxury Presence, into the conversation here. Brianna's going to share with us just for a couple of minutes what Luxury Presence does to provide folks with the platform that they need to tell their story and build their brand. Brianna, welcome.
Chris, thanks for having me. And Shelton, so good to see you. I was
Yes,
excited for this call with you today.
me too.
And Shelton and I work closely together. So I've got to hear some of these fun stories, and we're doing a lot of exciting stuff for her website right now. But yeah, everyone knows that the competition is fierce out there. So those storytelling pieces are important. First impressions matter. And yes, like Shelton said, if you lose your cool, that is part of your brand. And we got to make sure that we are not doing that. So but Luxury Presence does help with the first impression, right? So Shelton's probably a great primary example of what this looks like online and how we can make this effective for you. I'm going to share my screen if that's okay, Chris.
You bet.
To walk through some of these different pieces here. Let me know when you can see that okay.
You're good.
Awesome. So first impressions matter, right? So if I'm one of those clients that's referred to Shelton and I'm hearing her name in passing, I'm seeing this webinar this morning, I'm looking her up. Anyone who's already looked her up this morning, they've already saw this amazing screen here. So Luxury Presence helps build that foundation. We start with this amazing website platform and your Google Business Optimization page. Shelton has a fantastic website if you haven't seen it already. It does tell her story right from the forefront. You feel her energy, you feel the Southern hospitality. My family's from North Carolina too, Shelton. So I love that you mentioned that too. We build these really great websites to tell your story and to help attract your clientele. And it does start at the website. It's a proprietary function of your day-to-day, software, as well as what you're sharing with your clients. So in our Luxury Presence sites, you'll have your integrated IDX home search tool, allows you to share properties with your clients. They're beautifully displayed. They're always accurate, fresh content that's being delivered to you. All the new listings go directly on here, so you can share those high price point ones with your clients, like this nice one in West Hollywood. We provide things like digital CMAs, lead intelligence. But the thing I really want to touch on today, and what Shelton and I have been talking about a lot, is our AI marketing and what Luxury Presence is doing to help with that. So it kind of starts at the core of your website. So how are these platforms like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, how are they reading your site? What do they see whenever someone's typing in? And we can do one of these here. Beverly Hills, who should I work with? Beverly Hills, right? You ask Google that, you ask ChatGPT that, you ask AI that. And someone's going to come up here that probably a lot of people know as well. Jade Mills, the Altman brothers, Groman and Rosenfield. So ChatGPT and Google here are going to start suggesting agents and teams for you. So where that comes into play is how your website is presented, the keywords, what is being done on the back end of your platform for discoverability. So Luxury Presence has 4 different marketing specialists to help with that. An AI SEO specialist to help you with the latest search trends, how AI is recognizing you on Google, on ChatGPT, on Gemini. We also have an AI blog specialist. I'm going to pop over to this page here so you can actually see these in real time. Our AI SEO specialist is going to go in there and do all of those different meta tags, hyperlinks, keyword descriptions. We have the AI blog specialist going to post that fresh content for you, composing article in California neighborhoods here. And this does it without being prompted. You have an entire suite of marketing specialists to help with your day-to-day content there. We have an advertising specialist that runs ads 24/7, multi-channel retargeting, Google, YouTube, Meta. If you guys are trying to get in front of more people, these are the kind of softwares you want to have in place. And then our AI lead nurture specialist too. So this will help follow up with your leads in a couple minutes, qualifies your leads, has smart conversations, hands them off when you're ready. So kind of the bottom line here that I'm trying to get at is with Luxury Presence, you not only have this beautiful site that tells your story, but it's not just about visibility just there. It's about being visible to as many clients in your market as possible. So that's where we come into play. We have a lot of tools and features to help with that. And our entire team is here to support you, whether you are a current client or a new client that wants to talk about it. We'd love to chat about that as well.
Yeah. And
Thanks.
I will give a plug too to you guys. Like I just upgraded my service with Luxury Presence and I'm so excited about it because people were asking here about leads and I've never really done anything for leads. And so we're just going to be working through that. So I will come back here and report back, but I'm sure it's going to be amazing. We did get one lead from the website because someone was searching for homes and somehow they came to my website and they had an $8 million buyer that I have now from my website. So I will, share that. So I've been very happy and their customer service is insane. Like we can text them, call them, reach out to them at all times. Jessica's like nodding her head. She's like, they are the best. If something else comes up, pops up, and even like our little ones that we do for our off-market properties are amazing through Luxury Presence. So I just wanted to plug you guys for that. And we're sticking with you. I think we've been with you now like 6, 7, maybe 7 or 8 years. And now we're like going to do more with you. And I'm very excited.
Shelton, we're so glad about that. And I just want to make sure everyone knows Shelton just described the customer service, which is amazing here. And it's not just for fancy pants celebrity real estate agents like Shelton. We offer 24/7 support for anybody. If you are a Luxury Presence client, if your website is down, if you have emergency questions, we're here for you because we know that business happens pretty much all the time in this industry. So we're so glad. Brianna, if somebody signs up for a demo today, it looks like we have a special offer that we can offer them. Is that right?
Yeah, so we're really excited about just kind of chatting about the AI specialist, all the stuff that's going on at Luxury Presence, just kind of taking over the tech end to end here. But yeah, if you guys use this link at the bottom of the screen here, the book a demo, you do get $500 off your setup fee through the month of October. It's a great opportunity to come in, take advantage of that. Current clients, we can apply that as a credit as well for any of our upgraded plans that you guys are looking for, like Shelton doing a little bit more marketing, of course. So yeah, we're here to help any way we can.
Outstanding. Thank you so much, team. We will, you can go ahead and use the QR code to book a demo. If that's not working for you, we'll make sure we include the link in the email. I'm going to look for the link here as well, so maybe I can just drop it in the chat. Shelton, I have a couple of questions. We're running short on time here, but I have 2 questions I want to end on here.
Okay.
The first one is a question that came from the Q&A. Somebody who's asking about personal Instagram versus business Instagram. And I think I want to just extrapolate a little bit on this. Is essentially the question for me to you is, how do you feel about mixing your personal life with your business life? Do you feel like this is a necessary thing for a real estate professional? Do you have to have a boundary? What's your take on this?
I have no boundaries. I'm just kidding. Yeah, think you guys know that. No, I believe it should be one. I think managing 2 is a lot. I think that for me, putting myself out there and like showing my family and showing who I am and that I like all the different things that I do, that's what's made my page grow and people interested in me because it's not every day they're buying or selling real estate. They want to know what your outfit is or where you go eat or that I'm going to Necker Island or that I'm playing tennis or whatever. I mean, you can connect on those things and way more, or like all my fun travels. I mean, it's so amazing. You can get such great conversations going about those things more than just like buy and sell real estate. So it keeps them engaged for much longer. So I believe it's great to keep it together. And that's always been my stance on it.
I think that's a cogent response.
Mm-hmm.
My last question for you overall is, if Richard Branson called you today and asked for your advice on getting into the real estate business, let's say Richard Branson had a change of heart and he said, I want to get my real estate license, Sheldon. What would you tell him? How would you turn the tables on him? What would be the piece of advice you'd give him?
I would say, oh, Richard, that sounds great. Go for it. I tell people to go for it. I really do. Some people are like, oh my God, such a difficult industry. No, it just depends on your grit that I have a lot of. It depends on your attitude. But I think it can be an amazing business. And I believe in real estate and I think it's going to stay around. So I would just say, go for it, get your license. And then my big thing that I didn't talk about enough here is that I'm obsessed with agents and I believe that agents are our clients too. That's like my tagline. I really
Mm,
believe that. I care about all of you guys so much that are here. It is such a difficult job and career. And so I think we have to stick together. And so my big thing that I did when I first started doing real estate is I went on Caravan every week. I met everybody. I got to know them. And I said, congratulations. Wow, what a beautiful listing. Like that is so
mm,
amazing. Thanks for having me today. I wouldn't come in and complain that there's no toilet paper in the bathroom. I would literally say, "Oh, thank you so much. Wow, this is incredible." I mean, just knowing how hard it is to get a listing or, to moving forward. So being kind and easy and, complimentary to other agents and getting to know them and meeting them and providing value to them, that is what has made it so we've really stood out in our market. And like knowing that agents are our clients and we send, like, when we open an escrow, we send a $25 Starbucks gift card and we're like, coffees for closers. I mean, we just really try to like keep the vibes high and keep it friendly because we all have the same outcome. We're not going to
mm,
fight with each other. That is so crazy what you see on TV. That's not real. Doesn't have to be like that.
mm,
We never allow it to be like that. So yeah, I would say get started, go for it, put yourself out there, let people see your face. Well, I wouldn't even have to tell Richard that. He would like jump off of a house and do something crazy and then, go viral. So I mean, I I just think that that would be my advice is to go for it, and I
mm,
you can do it.
mm.
Have a good attitude, Positron.
I love it. Positron. That's right. Absolutely right. Well, team, thank you so much for being here. Guys, if we didn't get to your questions, I'm really sorry about that. We'll do our best to answer questions in email. If you want to respond to the recording that gets sent out, I'll do my best to answer questions if they're for me or for Luxury Presence. If you got questions for Sheldon, I think we all saw her Instagram here. Feel free to drop her a line. I know she is excited to chat with folks and just generally. Um, Sheldon, it's really great to chat with you today. Thank you so much for sharing your experiences with us. Um, I'll give you the last word here. Anything that you want to share with us, maybe exciting projects that you have a podcast you want to plug. Where can our audience learn a little bit more about Sheldon Wilder?
Well, you can learn all about me on my fabulous luxury presence at sheltonwilder.com. So there's your plug. But also follow me on Instagram. And I do have a podcast, Wilder Possibilities. I also have a course, and it's Wilder Ways of Real Estate, and I'm relaunching that. So watch for that. And then my most exciting thing that's coming out is going to be something that all real estate agents need. So, Chris, you promised that I could come back when I'm ready to launch it. And just, I'm teasing it up here because it is literally going to be a game changer. And
I got
everybody's
my
going to
pen
want
ready to put your name on the calendar. You tell
it.
me
It is,
when.
it's going to be huge, huge.
Excellent.
So, and so helpful for everybody. My biggest pain point. That,
Well,
yeah, and because I'm writing my book right now about it too. So, it's all coming out. So, can't wait.
guys, follow Shelton on Instagram. In her link tree, she's got links to all of her swag and to her podcast and to all of the different things that she's involved in. Make sure that, yeah, give her a follow there so that you can keep up to date on the new project that she's working on right now. And of course, check out her website. And if you are in need of a marketing platform to power your business, we would love to help. So I'm going to put the QR code back up on the screen here in just a minute, but you can also follow the link. I'll drop it in the chat, and you can book a demo. We'd love to talk to you about what we're doing here. Shelton, once again, thanks for being with us today, and we'll catch everybody next time on the next Presence panel. Have a great day.
Thanks. Bye.